woo, 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 woo. The Mavs win it! You dress in black when you're going to a funeral. And this funeral was as close as they could possibly have written it up. 117, 116, all comes down to the final few seconds. And let me just, before we get anywhere further, like this team, like the cohesion, the chemistry, the willingness to stick together, to fight for each other, every man fighting for every other guy. Like this team playing together, giving their all, overcoming, shall we say, obstacles? Shall we say obstacles? 117, 116 on our home court in front of the AAC faithful. You and me cheering at home. Were you there live? Did you get to be there? I know if some of my friends were. I was sweating this one, man. Were you sweating it? Was your heart beating? Were you shaking an angry fist at certain times? Were you raising your hands to the heavens at times? Man, this team. I mean, we're going to talk about Luka. We're going to talk about Kyrie. We're going to talk about that young beast, Derek Lively II. We're going to talk about PJ after no showing offensively for the whole game, showing up in the fourth quarter like a boss. Woo! Look at that. 1 point game. And a game that, let me just say, I don't believe was officiated with equity. I don't believe it was officiated equally. It wasn't some travesty. I'm not saying this is a war crime or anything like that. But man, it did not feel even. It felt like at times we're like, oh, they call that on them, but they call this on us, or they won't call this for us. It really felt like that. I know every fan base feels like that, but man, it really had that feeling like, man, are we going to be able to overcome the Thunder tonight and those guys with the whistles? Like I said, it wasn't a war crime, and I don't want to focus on that. That's all I want to say on it tonight. The Mavs overcame. The Mavs played together. Were there some questionable calls? Absolutely. All of that. Absolutely. There were some questionable coaching decisions. Absolutely. Absolutely. I bet. Well, we'll see who we're facing in the next round because we're going to the Western Conference Finals, baby. This team that no one has believed in. This team that everyone had doubted. I mean, you got a few stragglers out there in the national media that started liking us like Legs. You want to give Tim Legler all the credit in the world. There's a few other guys that started jumping on the bandwagon a little too late. A little too late for my liking. I wonder if Mr. Bill Simmons thinks the Mavs deserve any credit now. Because here we have a night where the Thunder were hitting shots and the Mavs still won. The Mavs still won. Man, this is the word that's just pounding in my head. That's why I keep saying it. This team. Like, there have been plenty of nights where we go, man, Luka. There's been a few nights where we go Kyrie. But, man, I think it's this team. Is this team about to do something special? Is this team, I mean, they're doing special things. Getting to the Western Conference Finals, right? When no one would have expected them to. Whew. But are they about to go into the Western Conference Finals and do something special? Is this a special team? Is this 23-24 Mavs a team we're going to remember the rest of our lives? Well, hold on. Let me go back real quick. So they outscored us by 7 in the first. We came back. No. They outscored us by 9. They outscored us by 9 in the second, so that's a 16-point lead at half. Mavs come roaring out into the third, 35-29. We take back 9 of those points. And then the Mavs in the fourth, 34-26. Let's talk about it. Let's see. How did it happen? Let's see. Well, hold on. Let me do something I should have already done and do that. Whoop, it's not going to want me to do it. Oh, no. Okay. We'll do it that way. There we go. Now I'm there. All right, so the stats. So we've got the Thunder shooting 48% on the night to the Mavs 50%. Both teams shooting so well. What was your standout tonight? Who was your standout player tonight? Let me know in the chat, guys. If you're watching, let me know who stood out to you tonight. Who really won the gold medal to you tonight for the Mavs, right? Yeah, SSS, let's go! So both teams shot great, right? No huge advantage there. Look at the three-point difference, though. The Mavs shoot almost 46% from 3, while the Thunder shoot a respectable 36.6, like just under 37%. So the Mavs in the second half just explode in their three-point sniper, right? Just absolutely crazy. The free throws, no huge difference there, 76.5% to 71%. Look at the turnovers, though. This was going to be the story. I was preparing my heart to talk about this because look at the disparity right there. The Mavs gave it away 17 times. A lot of that was Luka in the first half, too. He was making shots. He was shooting insane efficiency in the first half and throughout the whole game. But he was giving the ball away. I think Kyrie gave it up a few times, too. Let me see if I can slide myself over. There we go. Yeah, that's just crazy, guys. A 9-point difference in turnovers, you're going to lose that game 80% of the time. But not tonight. Not tonight, man. 31-47 rebounds. D-Live out there absolutely dominate. Do you know how many rebounds the young man have? Do you know how many rebounds that young man grabbed tonight? We'll get to it in a second. An absolute rebounding clinic. Rebounding monster tonight from D-Live as we beat them by 16 in the rebounds category. Tie, it's a push under assists. Both teams are good passing teams. Blocks pretty much even, 5-4. Thunder gets the edge there. Defensive rebounds, Mavs absolutely clobber them, 33-24. Offensive rebounds, Mavs absolutely clobber them, 14-7. Points off of turnovers, not surprising. The Thunder in that first half were pushing it, 27-19, and we just turned the ball over so much more. Points in the paint, we'd been winning this, I think, much of the series. The Thunder actually show up in the paint tonight, 46-40. Fast break points make sense because of turnovers, things like that, 15-10. And then second chance points. Look at that. When you dominate a rebounding battle, especially on the offensive rebounds, you're gonna know you're gonna get more second chance points. But look at that, second chance points, 27-8, absolutely insane. Philippe says lively for sure, probably the best game he's played. Certainly when you consider the stage he was on, right? Gafford was not. I mean, Gafford's stats are okay tonight, but the Thunder, just their offense was chewing him up. And then every time Lively came in the game, the Thunder's offense began to stagger. Yeah, Montreal, my nerves are only now settling. I'm still on the adrenaline because I'm so freaking happy. But man, if I had fingernails, I'd have been biting them, right? I was sitting there wringing my hands. I was shaking my fists when there was a call I didn't like, or the Mavs missed an open look, or SGA does that ridiculous stuff he was doing again. Let's talk about our MVP. Let's talk about our Slovenian superstar. Let's talk about the greatest basketball player in the world, Luka Doncic. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 44 minutes. He's laying it all out on the floor. And by the way, that knee, that leg over the last 2 games, been looking way, way better, hasn't it? That's something that we should, looking into this next series, that's something we should really be hoping on. That he's looked so much more spry. I mean, he's not a speedster, right? He's not, De'Aaron Fox or anything out there. But he's been looking so much more like himself. This is not the best Luka Doncic you could get, right? 29 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists as far as production goes. But he's looking like Luka. You expect this from him. And he's looking back to being himself tonight. 9 for 15. Where has this game been? All playoffs. He's been saving it for Game 6 and a series-clinching win. Incredible efficiency for the stud tonight, for the kid tonight. 9 of 15, 4 of 6 from 3. All 7 of his free throws. Only 7, now that's a thing right there. All 7 of his free throws. What's the one gripe we could make about the kid tonight? What's the one gripe we could make about our MVP tonight? It's those turnovers. 10 assists, 7 turnovers. Ay, my guy. Ay. But it's okay. We love you. We forgive you. We know he'll pull that back. He's always going to be a higher turnover guy because of the passes he's pulling off, the most insane angles and cross-court passes he's throwing all the time. We forgive that. 7 is too much. 7 is too much. But still, overall, just an absolute beast of a night. Where are we going with our second? Who's the next guy we're going to talk about? Well, you know what we're going to do? We are going to tip our hat to a fallen enemy tonight because this dude, Shai, by the way, that's how you say it, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a monster. Let me just say it like this. A worthy opponent to Luka Doncic. A worthy adversary. A worthy warrior on the other side of the battle line. And so I tip my cap to this guy. He was awesome all series long. 36 points tonight, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 42 minutes, 14 of 25 from the field, and 4 of 5 from 3. That's just exceptional. Got himself a couple blocks. I don't know about all that. No steals tonight for the Steals King, but I want to tip my cap to the fallen enemy, right? He played a whale of a series, and he is an absolute monster. And every time I talk about Luka and Kyrie, and who I clearly think Luka is the more impactful player, right? I just think it's very, very clear. But I always like to point this out. SGA is 7 months older than Luka. Is that petty? Is that salty? I just feel like the world doesn't know this. I just feel like the world thinks that like SGA's 22 or 23. He's 7 months older than Luka, but we tip our cap. You can't help when you're born. Who do we go to next? We go to our Kyrie Irving, the second Lamborghini that the Mavs have in the garage. And tonight, he showed up once again in the second half. I'm not going to spend too much time complaining. I just don't want to complain. But he's got this, like, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to over-psychologize the guy, but like it's almost like a complex now. The first half, his shots just won't fall. And he's obviously not going to force the issue, right? But he's just missing shots. He didn't even take very many. 23 field goals tonight. That's a bunch of those. A bunch of those were in the second half. So 22 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. I haven't looked yet. Yeah, 4 turnovers. That makes sense. There were several times, and I guess the more familiar I become with Kyrie's game, the more I'm aware that as tight as he has that ball in a string, the greatest ball handler of all time, there are times where he can get a little sloppy with it, right? We know that Luka will be sloppy. We know that Luka will have some turnovers. I just have tended to think that Kyrie will never have a turnover because he's the best ball handler I have personally ever seen in my lifetime. And you hear these pros say he's the best ball handler of all time. AI said it the other day. Allen Iverson said that Kyrie's the best ball handler of all time. But so 4 turnovers tonight, and they all kind of come with these these really bad moments. I mean, it's never a great time to have a turnover, but man, he just keeps doing this thing where he wakes up in the second half. So Kyrie, thank you. Thank you, brother, for showing up in the second half. We needed every single one. Obviously, we won by 1 tonight. We needed every single one of those 22 points. Montrell, that game was nerve-wracking. Montrell, I'm so proud of everyone who played tonight. The refs weren't being fair at all. We overcame because that's what championship-level teams do. Special shout-out to D-Live. Heck yes, Trell. Heck yes, Montrell. Absolutely. That's where we're going next. That's where we're going next. To one Dereck Lively II. Have I ever told you, have you ever heard that this young man just turned 20 a few months ago? He is 20 years old. 29 minutes. 29 minutes in a Game 6 of the second round of the playoffs in his rookie season as a 20-year-old. And this young dude's going to give you 12 and 15. 12 and 15 with 4 offensive rebounds. And they've only credited him here with 1 block, but how many shots did he alter? And how many times do they just not try him? How many times do they just see that big old guy in the paint and they go, I'm going to pull up for a midi. I'm going to try a floater over his outstretched arms. And I'm not saying he's perfect. There were a few spots tonight where you're like, oh, you got to rotate. Oh, you missed the play right here. But man, he is such a natural genius level defender. Man, I just love watching this kid defend. I love how he calls out plays. I love how he kind of holds the defense together. I mean, we've got these 2 really good perimeter defensive players in PJ and D Jones, but D-Live behind them all just kind of gives you that confidence to, you can go play aggressive. I got your back. Like literally, I am behind you. I am behind you. Man, just an absolute stud. Did you see that play? If you haven't, go look on my timeline. Did you see after the game, after the final buzzer sounds, when D-Live's kind of off on his own and he's just got his hands up in the air and he's looking to the ceiling, he's looking to the heavens, and he just smiles. Man, there is no doubt. Gosh, I'm getting emotional. There is no doubt what that moment was for him, right? He was saying, thank you, Mama. He was saying, you're with me, Mama. He's saying, thanks for all you taught me, Mama. Like, it was just a moment. If you didn't see that moment, go dig me up at Mavs Highlights on Twitter X. Scroll on my timeline and find that moment. That was a beautiful, like sports gives us beautiful moments, right? Of brotherhood and sisterhood, things like that. But that was a special moment caught on video there. Just absolutely incredible. The kid is just the answer. The kid is just the answer defensively. Gafford, for all the shot blocking prowess he has, and I think he's a really solid shot blocker, he is just not a great defensive center. D-Live is on his way to being an elite defensive center. I'm not talking about good. He's already really good. He's on his way to being elite. Man, when he gets out there, the defense hums. When he gets out there, the defense sings. Thank you, Dereck Lively II. Absolute monster from the young dude tonight. Who else are we going to talk about? Well, we got to talk about D Jones. We got to talk about D Jones. Another, I think he had like a 17, 19, and now a 22-point game from Derrick Jones Jr., the minimum contract, the last guy signed to the team in the offseason. 22 points on 8 of 13, 4 of 6 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block, a plus 18 on the night. A winning player. He is a winning player. My gosh, D Jones, tip of the cap to you. You always or often take the hardest defensive assignment. You are often guarding one of the greatest scorers in the world, and you just play. You come out to play. You show up night after night after night. And man, when your shot is falling, D Jones, when D Jones' shot is falling, my goodness, this team is hard to fight. My goodness, this team is hard to beat. Derrick Jones Jr., absolute stud yet again. Unsung hero. You know who else could very easily be an unsung hero tonight? This gentleman right here. You say, what's with those stats? What's with the 9, 5, 2, no steals, no blocks? Yeah, also kind of like no points in the first 3 quarters. I don't have the stat in front of me. I could have looked it up, but I forgot. I would love to know how many of those 9 points How many of those 9 points were in the fourth quarter in crunch time? 2 for 5 from 3. Those 2 big threes were in the fourth quarter as the time was winding down, as the Mavs were fighting and scrapping and clawing. I remember one play where Luka just dribbled around and kind of wasted a possession, and then found him in the corner. And I think that was PJ. It was either PJ or D Jones, but he just kind of had a closeout possession where he just kind of dribbled and it looked like it was going to end up in nothing on a huge possession. And then either D Jones or PJ hit a massive corner three there at the end of the game. Do y'all remember who it was? Was it PJ or was it D Jones that hit that insane three? Either way, both of them in the fourth were nails. Absolutely awesome. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 for 5 free throws. He made the first 2. He got fouled on a 3 by SGA. Were you as shocked as I am that they called that? They called a foul on SGA against PJ. I mean, you might see him call it if it's against another superstar, but they called that foul, and it was the right call, by the way, and the refs made that clear that it was the right call. Steve Jabby in the booth was like, no, that's absolutely undeniably the right call. But there were some undeniably right calls that didn't go the right way tonight, weren't there? And then he comes to the line, 25-year-old guys, first time he's ever been in the playoffs is this year, facing the biggest free throws of his life. And he makes the first 2 and misses the third intentionally. And the Mavs go to the Western Conference Final. PJ Washington, what an absolute monster you were this series. You are a leading scorer in 3 games this series, and you always are playing tough defense. And tonight you came through in the fourth quarter when it counted. Thank you so much, PJ. What did the rest of the Thunder do? J-Dub in 22 minutes, 37 minutes, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Huge game from J-Dub tonight. Huge game. Chet, what'd you do in your 34 minutes? 21 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Big game for the skinny boy, the skeleton boy, Jack Skellington, right? Isaiah Joe, 29 minutes tonight, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal as he's taking Josh Giddey's minutes. And then Lou Dort, I mean, what are you going to say about Lou Dort? Is he a great defender? Yeah. Is he allowed to murder you? Yeah. Should he foul out every game? Yeah. In the first half sometime he should foul out. He's beyond a physical player. Whatever he's doing is not basketball about a quarter of the time. And they just seem to, they'll always give him a couple early fouls. And you know the refs are saying like, Lou, this is too crazy. Even we've got to call that, Lou. And then for the middle quarters, they just let him get away with it. It's just insane the stuff he can get away with. He is a great perimeter defender. He really is. But man, he gets away with so much non-basketball contact. This should clearly be a foul. All right. I asked you guys to sound off, and I asked you guys what you were thinking. Let me ask you. Montreal says, you're going to make me cry, man. I knew what that moment was for him because I lost my mom when I was 13. Dang it. So when I saw that, I was like, she's with you, bro. Exactly. That's what I think that's what my tweet said. Absolutely. Yeah. You could just see it was written all over his face, man. And D Jones deserves to stay here. Oh man. Well, here's the thing. Can I try to be an unbiased fan for a second? An unbiased basketball observer? He deserves more than I think we can pay him, as far as deserves goes. But I sure hope he'll take what we pay him. What's up, Master Fame? Yeah, let's go. Western Conference bound. Absolutely. So what were people saying? What were people thinking? Let's see what people are saying and thinking here. Oh my goodness. I'm just flying over here. Let's see if the internet will work. The Tao of Bodie says Stephen A. Smith cutting out early is about as on brand as it gets. I didn't know that. Strandon, the feeling is effing undescribable. I can't even type this S, but I'm with you, Strandon. I'm with you. Heck yes, man. Conference Finals Rangers is happier than I was earlier today. Heck yes. Ooh, man, my heart was pounding, man. Honestly, almost pooped myself in the last second. That's what a great game can do for you. Christian says, Tired. It's 5 a.m. Hey, respect to you for watching a game that's so early or so late, depending on your sleep schedule. Happy, exhausted. Now bring on Denver. Oh, you're calling out Denver. Okay. I like that. Brian says, oh, gotcha, Brian. Feeling so good, Waleed says. CJK says, I feel incredible. Dwight's just bubbly with enthusiasm and excitement there from Bruce Almighty. TM says soon. Oh, TM. TM's counting those chickens before they're hatched, but I like it. I'm not going to say I don't like it, TM. I like it. Heck yeah. Adorable says, felt like Mavs won a Game 7. Yeah. I'll take this Game 6 and swap it out. I don't want a Game 7, man. Absolutely. I like this Game 6. I'm with you. Tom says, immaculate vibes once again. Heck yes. Finally, we will play a basketball team and not NFL teams like the first 2 rounds. I'm with you, Tom. Colleen says, tears of joy. Woo! Booyah! That's right, yeah. Kim says, not even the @NBA along with Tony Brothers et al. Can beat Luka Doncic and these Mavs. That's right. That's right, Kim. The Mavs and Luka, led by Luka, of course, won in Game 6. Isn't it incredible? Mindy says, I'm feeling like a champion. Omar says, hyped up with the fire. Rose says, fantastic. Absolutely. Luka is the best basketball player on the planet. Grateful we escaped Tony Brothers and SGA. Give that man some respect. Yeah, but I'm with you. Grateful we escaped Tony Brothers. Hope he doesn't officiate next round. Well, I mean, he's one of their elite officials. So should I risk show? That's often where the spam bot accounts end up. Let's see here. Oh, doesn't look like anything else is popping up. All right. Woo! Guys. Yes. Philippe, if this is the Luka we get in the Western Conference Finals where he looks healthy, oh, I can't see what you're saying. What did you say? Watch out. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see here. Well, I'm looking for something. Oh, there it is. Okay. Woo! Guys. This was sick. I want to just say this team is awesome, and they deserve this. The way they closed out the regular season, the way they stuck together in the first 2 rounds, they deserve this Western Conference Finals berth. And they deserve us to cheer them on. They deserve to get fair officiating. Luka looking better than at any point before in the playoffs. Oh, man, I want to say we deserve this, right? We deserve this. The true blue, the true Mavs fans for life who cheer in the thick and the thin, the ones who don't bail when it gets hard, right? True fans. That's what we are. True Mavs fans. And we deserve this. Heck yes. Game 6 win. Western Finals, baby. Western Conference Finals, baby. Here we come. Go Mavs! Here we go.